question. This racetrack has so much history. You know, NASCAR was formed right down the street. The champion, huge champions that won this racetrack. And people like Dale Earnhardt, it took forever to win at this racetrack. So it's very difficult to win here. So a huge honor to win a pole here and a huge honor to win a race.
Yeah, so on the left side of your screen, you have the 12 teams that have advanced, the 12 drivers that will take part in round 2, listed in the opposite order as how they qualified the first one. So Denny Hamlin, first car on the racetrack, he had posted the 12th fastest time, and those times have been erased. It doesn't matter how you ran in round 1. Now only your round 2 time matters, and it only matters for these 12. These will be our first through 12 starting positions, going from slowest to fast. So it's exciting. So in the end, you would think every car should keep beating one another all the way to Greg Biffle, but sometimes that's not how it works out.
And this happens fairly quickly because remember, you only get one lap. So Denny Hamlin, he's on his get up to speed lap now. It's really important for him to get through the gears really, really clean, be very smooth. He's going to run a high line in 3 and 4, get right against the wall, try to make the track as big as he can before he gets to the start-finish line, because you want that engine to build RPMs. You want to give the engine a chance to get to its full operating potential before he gets to the start-finish line where he's getting ready to get where his lap's going to start.
And Rick, why top 12 starting position seems good. They are good, but they're not great. And what these teams are looking for is not only the pole, but when you look here at Daytona, there's only a handful of openings, which means there are less than 12 preferred pit stalls. Tonight and tomorrow night, we're going to talk about how slick this racetrack is, how hard it is to maneuver up through traffic. So track position is going to matter. That helps when you have a good pit stall.
And look at Denny Hamlin's hands. He's going to try to be really smooth. Don't move the wheel any more than you have to move it. Don't put any bit of friction into the tires. It slows the car down. He turns the wheel. He's on the very bottom of the corner, making the corner as small as he can. Unlike to get up the speed lap, you want it to be as big as you could. Here you want it to be as small as you can to go the fastest you can to go around the racetrack. Very smooth with the wheel. Do not put your foot on the brake pedal. Come to get the checkered right now.
Denny Hamlin, the 35-year-old out of Chesterfield, Virginia, runs 46.881, 191.975, and a little quicker than what he ran in that first round.
Rick, you caught me. That's exactly what I was looking at, is how it compared, because you wonder between wind and thing. There's not a lot a driver can do to go faster. Like Jeff said, they run wide open, they run around the bottom of the racetrack. So it comes down to mechanically, perhaps. Either the wind is changed or the temperature is up, and some of the mechanical things on the car, the transmission, the drive line, that can help the car roll better. So it'll be interesting to see if that's a trend we see out of all 12 cars.
Kurt Busch now on the track. Kurt Busch and brother Kyle Busch, both out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And Kurt Busch, a former champion of the Sprint Cup Series, as well as his brother Kyle Busch, who's the reigning Cup champion.
And look how Kurt, he's got his left side tires on the yellow line on the back straightaway. So what his strategy was to leave turn 2 and to try to turn the wheel a little bit more, but to make the track shorter. Don't let the car run up the racetrack at all. So you see still he's right on the very bottom. I think you'll see pretty much every driver do that, but he did it down the back straightaway as well.
You see bottom of the screen in red, that is in relation to the pole, which right now it's Denny Hamlin's. Kurt Busch, second quickest. And as we mentioned, they're going from slowest to fastest, how they ran in round 1. And already we've seen Denny Hamlin outperform Kurt Busch, because those are the only 2 cars that have gone on the track. Kurt Busch couldn't match what Denny Hamlin was able to do. As we see Ryan Blaney now on the track.
And we mentioned Ryan Blaney all day, but how he could qualify into this field. This is a non-charter team. He had to qualify in. That was the goal in round 1. Mission accomplished. This is really great for their day. They wanted to make sure they were in the race. They accomplished it. Now they're just trying to improve their spot. Anywhere inside the top 12 will make this 21 team happen.
And Jeff, as a driver, we just watched the hands of Denny Hamlin and how he didn't move the wheel. Are you consciously thinking, I don't want to change anything on this car to scrub any speed away?
No question. When you leave pit road, you want to shift at the right time so the engine is at optimal RPMs. If you shift too late, it kind of lays down. If you shift too early, it doesn't build momentum. You want to use your hands as little as possible. Just try not to scrub any bit of speed. But listen, there's not a lot a driver can do. This is 99.9% about the vehicle. It's not so much about the car. Now, tomorrow night, it's going to change, and the driver's going to matter. But right now, it's mostly about the car.
Ryan Blaney, High Point, North Carolina. He is 3rd quickest on his run. Now it's 6-time series champion Jimmy Johnson in that red, white, and blue Lowe's Chevrolet.
See, Jimmy, he's not right on the yellow line. Some drivers think running right around the yellow is better. Some think giving the car off the bottom kind of lets it breathe a little bit, doesn't bind it up as much. You can see right now it's just a little bit quicker than Denny Hamlin getting into turn 3.
And the splitter on the front of these cars, amazing how we don't want to scrub speed off, but at the same time you want it almost sealed to the racetrack. And they do that through shocks, through springs. Just amazing what a crew chief and the engineers can do to these cars.
He's going to be a little quicker than Denny Hamlin. He's going to be P1 right now.
46.836 for Jimmy Johnson. Over 192 miles an hour, his average speed over this 2.5-mile super speedway.
Really impressed with the pickup from round 1 to round 2. Almost 0.2 of a second. That's more than I expected to see out of these cars. Ryan Blaney really the only driver that hasn't picked up so far. He's in 4th. But Jimmy Johnson in that Lowe's 48 team, that was a big pickup. We'll see Kyle Busch in a backup car. I mean, can't be said enough. This team unloading from no practice and only a few hours to prepare the car to get ready to race makes the top 12.
You mentioned a backup car. In final practice earlier today, Kyle Busch running out there, and Jeff, you had mentioned not a lot a driver could do in this qualifying run, but a lot they could learn in final practice. And when Kyle Busch cut the right rear tire, that car shot into the wall. They had to bring out this backup car, and the backup car has been very impressive. As a matter of fact, he's running faster right now than Jimmy Johnson.
That's right. This car never saw the racetrack until the beginning of this qualifying session, so this car's never been in a race trim around other cars. So you always have that in the back of your mind. How is this car going to drive compared to the other car I had? Still, he goes the fastest right now.
46.793 for Kyle Busch, 192.336 miles per hour, his average speed here at Daytona. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Fifth Third Bank Ford Fusion, Roush Midway Racing.
You mentioned it, the Ford Fusion. That Ford Blue Oval seems to have found some great speed here at Daytona. We have 5 of the top 12 are the Blue Ovals with Ricky Stenhouse, his teammate. Greg Biffle was the fastest in the first round.
Now Ricky Stenhouse Jr. down the back stretch, a little bit higher, away from that yellow line as you had mentioned earlier, Jeff. Not making the track as small as he could, but at the same time not scrubbing any speed off coming out of turn 2. But running in the red right now is in comparison to Kyle Busch.
He's not going to beat Kyle Busch. He's not going to sit on the pole today, but still a solid run for this team. A team that's trying to build themselves back up to where Roush Midway used to be, a contender on a weekly basis. So any positives, and we've seen positives this year, but coming here and qualifying well and ultimately having a good run tomorrow night, that can help build even more momentum as they try to move forward.
Halfway through the 12 drivers, so just 6 more to go in this round 2. Sprint Cup Series qualifying for Daytona International Speedway. Joey Logano from Middleton, Connecticut.
And I'm excited to watch Joey Logano tomorrow night. I just feel like he has this confidence about him right now. He's winning races and running well. You know, he finally got that win this year. And when you look at him, when you talk to him, he seems so relaxed, so confident. And now that he has that win, he can just go lay it on the line. And we know he doesn't mind mixing it up. He doesn't mind going in places that other people may not want to go. So he's going to be a lot of fun to watch. He is not going to be a pole sitter tonight, but I cannot wait to watch tomorrow night because he is going to be digging.
And I do agree that win at Michigan is going to mean a lot for this 22 team because racing at a super speedway is about aggression. It's hard to be aggressive and protect points at the same time.
The 2015 season didn't end the way Joey Logano wanted it to. He looked as though he could have been the favorite for the championship. But he started off 2016 consistent, but hadn't found victory lane until Michigan 2 races ago. He was able to get the win and put his name in the list of drivers that will be running for a championship in 2016. Now Matt Kenseth on the clock as Logano was 6th quickest of the 7 that had been on the track.
We talked earlier about the disappointment of Daytona, and we saw the excitement of the winners, but Matt Kenseth takes the white flag, single file, leading the race, goes into turn 3. I mean, I think the race is over. He's going to win, ends up finishing 14th. So, you know, extremely disappointing. That's a terrible way to lose the Daytona 500.
Remember, though, Chris Osborne Matt Kenseth's spotter was injured in a car accident in the offseason. He wasn't here in February. I go back and watch that last lap and wonder if just the nuances with the spotter, if he had his normal spotter, if it wouldn't have helped him in those closing laps, they could look at this July race as the opportunity he has. Chris Osborne back on the roof, put himself in that same position again. A great lap up into third position. Maybe that's the little bit extra they needed to complete that race.
Matt Kenseth, third quickest. 46.818 seconds around this 2.5-mile super speedway. Carl Edwards now on the clock. His Subway Toyota Camry. '23 Daytona races for Carl Edwards. And the best finish, second. He's done that 2 times. But in the green now, potentially to grab the pole for the Daytona race tomorrow evening. Joe Gibbs Racing has been so strong all year long. Let's see if they could grab a pole from Daytona.
Really gained in the corner there. That lets me know that doing a lot of work in the rear suspension, working, getting the travel, getting the spoiler out of the air. Really gained in both corners of the racetrack, all the way to the pole.
He is fastest, 46.693. 1 year ago, the end of the race, probably one of the more dramatic endings to a race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. with the win, and the 3 of Austin Dillon into the fence. About 30 seconds of silence after that accident happened. The car cut in half. But there's Austin Dillon waving to the crowd. A very emotional finish. And he would like to change the ending in the way that he could get up front, potentially, maybe even lead the field to green if he could grab the pole in this run.
There's not many wrecks that you watch replays of and you still get nervous. You know, but that wreck, it still scares me when I watch it. I've seen a lot of big wrecks and been part of many of them, but, you know, to see that and watch it live, what an incredible impact. The thing he got out of that race car, it's just amazing.
I'm not sure if I'm more amazed that he got out of that race car or that he climbs back in the race car and comes back to Daytona again. These drivers are wired differently. They are amazing competitors as Austin Dillon runs into the 4th position there. You know, they're wired differently. What they do is daring. It's amazing to watch. I think he's going to strap in tomorrow night and go and compete and try to win the same race again.
The courage is incredible. That finish we saw, they were 3 and 4 wide coming to the finish line of that race. And Austin Dillon's car flew over the top of 2 of those lines. Brad Keselowski now on the clock. Brad out of Rochester Hills, Michigan. Only 2 drivers still to go. It was Greg Biffle and Brad Keselowski that were the 2 fastest in the first round of qualifying. But now still in the red for Brad Keselowski. Carl Edwards still hanging on to that top spot.
See the in-car with Brad. You see how still his hands are. He's got to turn the wheel, but once he turns it, it just stays there. It just locks. As he gets straight again, he's just going to lock his hands, do his very best not to turn the wheel unless he has to. He approaches the trial, a little bit of wheel to get to the corner. 4th fastest.
4th quickest for Brad Keselowski. Only 1 car still has a shot to knock Carl Edwards off the top position.
And, you know, Rick, we talk about the importance of the pole. This pole position could be more important maybe to Greg Biffle than perhaps anyone in the field. In the first round, I specifically very vocal. This team hasn't performed as I expected them to perform. The new crew chief this year, Brian Patty, I thought they would mesh well. I thought they would find speed. I think the Roush family organization has improved. Sometimes it just takes a spark. We saw it with Tony Stewart last week, his win at Sonoma. A pole would be a huge spark for the 16 team. Is in the green coming out of turn 2.
And you can hear it. You can hear it in Greg's voice. He was excited. He was enthusiastic about the possibility of sitting on the pole and what it could mean for this team. So you see how close it is, though. Look how close it is.
2/100ths of a second. We'll be going to swimming Olympic trials after the conclusion of this round. They know about thousands of seconds in finishes in swimming. We'll find out, can this be a big celebratory night for Greg Biffle? Is he going to get the pole? He will. Greg Biffle, 46. 1:06.43. Almost 193 mile an hour average.
It's a great opportunity, Rick. This is a great opportunity for his team to say, you know what, we haven't had a year long, but Greg, we're still behind you.